So some big news, huge news. My favorite player has extended. Welcome to your Forest news. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to your latest Forest news. Coming up, we'll talk you through this beauty, Elanga, I was going to say, Ola Aina. I'll let you know the details on his contract extension, and finally, Ant can stop hassling me about it. We'll give you the latest on Elanga. Spoiler alert, it ain't much, but there are some talks going round. And the boys are back in town tomorrow or today, depending on when you're watching this video. So if you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well if you are new. And shout out to all the new people that have joined on Patreon. Shout out to Leo as well. I'm hoping to have something really big for you guys on Patreon on Wednesday. So if you want to join, you can scan that QR code. All right, let's jump into the news. And Ola Aina has extended his contract at Forest for 3 more years. Finally, we don't have to do this. Triggered at the end of the season, another year, triggered another year, the season after. There's some actual daylight between now and when it expires, finally. And finally, Ant can stop whining at me. I told you lot many months ago. I got told, don't worry about this one, it's getting done. And here we go, it is done. And I think this is very important. And I'll show you what Ornstein said on it as well in just a second. And the importance of it is that if Elanga is to go to Newcastle, we all know about his clique. Ola Aina, Elanga, and Callum Hudson-Odoi. And it would make me slightly concerned if they're losing a best mate. Do those two look at each other and think, well, are we committing here and what have you? Because Callum Hudson-Odoi as well is currently in talks to extend his contract. I believe he's got 1 year left on it. And the other important thing to this as well is that Forest have now secured a lot of the main contracts that they were after to extend already this summer. So we've seen Chris Wood extend, we've seen Ola Aina, we've seen Nico Williams, we've got Callum Hudson-Odoi in talks. There's one other one, I forgot who it is. And also Morgan Gibbs-White is currently in talks on extending his contract. And of course, the manager as well has signed a new contract. So a lot, I would say, like, if you look at the different phases, to go all Arsenal on you guys, there's certain criteria that Forest were looking to tick off this summer. Secure the core of the team. Murillo was the other one. How could I forget? So secure certain kind of raw, important elements of the team, tie them down to longer contracts. Obviously, they'll get rewarded in a monetary way as well. That's kind of ticked off. I think Morgan Gibbs-White will be the last one that they're not worried about, but looking to get over the line. And then obviously keep the core together, so no new sales apart from this Elanga one that's seeming to be getting closer. We'll talk about that in a second. And then obviously recruit to strengthen the team. So I think from a contract renewal perspective, once they got MGW's one done, we can put a big tick in that box. In terms of letting the core of the team go, as I keep telling you guys, no one's looking to leave. Even Elanga. Don't worry what the Geordies are saying to you guys. Don't worry about his videos with Asula and Isak and all that stuff. He's not pushing for a move. If he goes, it's because Forest deem the offer acceptable to move him on. So that's phase one. Now, where I think we're struggling and where I'm getting worried about is, of course, the signings coming in. I still think they're doing this the wrong way around of Elanga. We should be bringing the replacements in. And I'd have liked to see a couple more signings. Obviously, Igor Jesus got announced by the club. We got a video on that yesterday. So check that out if you want to see it. And Jair Cunha is basically announced as well. I've heard nothing to suggest that there's any issues with that one, but I want to see more. We still need another left winger. We're still going to need an Elanga replacement, assuming he goes. We're going to need a backup. There's still talks that Sosa and Jota might be leaving this transfer window. So Forest already wanted 2 wingers. Now we're going to need 3 if Elanga goes, and one of them has to be good enough to start. So a lot of things that need to be covered there, but I'm sidetracking. Let's just quickly jump into Ornstein's piece on this, and this is in the Athletic, so obviously we've got it paid so you guys don't have to worry about it. And he says, as their headline, where is it? Ola Aina signs new 3-year deal at Forest. Now, there's a lot of padding out in this one, so I won't go through too much of it. It says, Aina has committed his future to Forest by signing a new 3-year deal until 2028. You going to stop crying now, Ant? He goes on to talk about the background and what have you, about where he was signed. We already know that. It says Forest activated the option to extend Aina's contract by an additional year in May 24, and the Nigerian international has continued to be a valuable part of Nuno Espirito Santo's defence, this time on the right-hand side. Remember, he did start on the left and can play both. More about his appearances, about the academy stuff and everything else. Nothing too much there, so he's just basically confirming that Ola Aina is done. So I'm very happy with that. He is currently my favourite player at Forest, so he's done and dusted. And let's move on and give you the Elanga update. Now, as I said at the kind of top of the video, there's not too much that's changed. There's been a lot of stuff coming out, mainly from you Geordies out there talking about all deal done. They've agreed not only Elanga but also on Trafford as well and what have you. Current state of play is this. As far as I'm aware, Forest and Newcastle are still discussing those that £55 million offer. They're discussing terms. They'll be discussing any add-ons, any clauses, anything like that. Forest still wants 60 million, but I assume if Newcastle are going to pay a bigger lump sum up front, it may make it more acceptable to Forest. So all those discussions are going on. The newest update is there are rumors circulating now that Elanga is changing his agency in terms of who's representing him. And this one's a bit confusing to me. If it's true, let's, for the sake of this discussion, say it is. It's a bit weird that it's happening mid-negotiations. I remember when Brennan Johnson changed his at the start of the summer, before he left Forest, that kind of made more sense, that those discussions would then happen with his new agent rather than the old one. This one seems to be falling in the middle. Now, they are using that, should I say, to say, oh, maybe this is why it's getting delayed. I don't think that would impact this at all. What I feel, and from the guys I've talked to, is that it's just still progressing. It's not Football Manager. There's a lot of clauses. There's a lot of lawyers that need to look at what's being said. And eventually it will either get done or not done. But this is how it goes. And it's going to be interesting. So honestly, guys, that's really the update on Elanga. I can't tell you too much more because there's nothing really changed on it. What's interesting, though, is what happens tomorrow, because or today, if you're watching this today, the players are back in for training. The pre-season technically officially starts tomorrow. And will Elanga be there? Well, as far as I'm concerned, yes, he will, because he's still contracted to Forest. He's still got his obligations to us. Nothing's been finalised in terms of the deal or anything like that. And Forest will start their build-up into the pre-season matches. I think our first game's either the 12th or 14th, so not too far away at all. We can start to build back into the Premier League. And this is why I want our signings in early. We think back to last year, and the way the boys went out to Spain and how the bonding was there and the unity was there, and they were, with each other almost 24/7 in that camp out in Spain. That was the foundations of what kicked us into a very good season in our last campaign. Now, are Forest going back out to Spain? I believe they are, but there's a lot of games happening here. It's been a while since we've played any friendly or pre-season matches, should I say, at the City Ground. There's going to be a few of those. I expect them to go out to Spain again, because what we heard is that Nuno wants to recreate that same environment, that same thing. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up in the same hotel, the same training facilities and everything like that. And that's probably going to be a few days or something. Maybe they'll play a match or two in front of those rose bushes and everything like we've seen before. So it all kicks off again today, technically and officially speaking. I guess, if you like, Forest's new season starts now. So when we're referring to last season, we're referring to this season kind of thing. So we'll see how it goes. But in terms of the other stuff, in terms of other transfers that are moving, honestly, there's not too much to update you guys on. And that's pretty much the news as it stands. Couple of rumors here and there. We're looking into them. If there's any legs in them, we'll bring them to you. So make sure you've subscribed, make sure you've hit the like button, and we'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.